15 minutes, we never even know it. So what happens is when they hit peak, instead of turning on these peaker plants a week in advance, they send a signal through the line that turns off the hot water boilers in a million homes, and they never have to go to peak. And it saves us all of that natural gas. If we were simply able to not turn on those peaker plants, we could save enough natural gas to power every automobile in this country. And we can do it just with that technical fix that they have down here in Colorado State Labs. So, and you know, there are dozens of companies that are manufacturing this software. All we need to do is get a national movement for installing this stuff and have incentives of the kind that you're giving here in Colorado to make sure that this starts happening. What we need to do is create a national marketplace. A marketplace that functions like a marketplace is supposed to, which is to reward efficiency, to reward good behavior, which is efficiency, and to punish bad behavior, which is inefficiency and waste. Right now, we have a market that's governed by rules that reward the filthiest, dirtiest, most poisonous, most destructive fuels from hell, instead of the clean, cheap, green fuels, abundant fuels from heaven. And we need to change that around so that to rationalize our marketplace so that it is coincident with the public interest. And if we do that, we build this national grid, we hook up every American home. We turn suddenly every American into an energy entrepreneur. Every home becomes a power plant, and we power this country on American entrepreneurship. Like Franklin Roosevelt said during World War, what he called American industrial genius, rather than Saudi oil. And that's what we need to do. I'm on the board of the biggest green tech venture capital firm in the country. It's a firm called Vantage Point. And it has about almost 40 portfolio companies, and I'm also on the board of many of those. One of them is a company called Ritter that builds solar thermal plants. And all of you know what they are. And this state is going to be one of the central staging areas for solar thermal, because you have very good sunshine north of the state. The solar thermal plant is a mirror farm in the desert. You suspend a turbine in a scaffolding, and it's the same kind of turbine that you would find in a nuke plant or a coal plant. And you surround it with concentric rings of giant mirrors that are manipulated by computers to focus the rays on that turbine. 5 minutes after sunrise in the morning, that turbine is at 700 degrees. How does it ever get to a coal plant or a nuke plant? It's very, very reliable, good, clean energy. We have a contract, RightSource, one of my companies, has contracts with Pacific Gas and Electric and Southern California Edison to build 2.6 gigawatts of solar thermal power that we're beginning construction on right now. It's going to cost us to build this larger than any coal plant in our country, as big as any nuke plant in this country, bigger than 99% of them. But we're building it for the same price that you build a coal plant, about $3 million a gigawatt. About half the price that you build a nuke plant. But once we build it, the energy is free forever. The photons are hitting the Earth for free. Once we build the infrastructure for harvesting them, all you've got to do is put it in the line. Once you build that coal plant, which costs you the same amount, your big costs are now beginning. Now you've got to go cut down the Appalachian Mountains and ship them across the country on rail cars. And you've got to burn it and poison every fish in America. The New York Times reported last week every fish in America now has dangerously high levels of mercury. Every freshwater fish in this country from coal-burning power plants. That's one of the costs of coal. And then you have destroyed the peaks, the forests on the high peaks of the Appalachian, from Georgia to northern Quebec. You have with acid rain. You have you kill 60,000 Americans every year from ozone and particulates, cause 1 million asthma attacks, 1 million lost birthdays. These are the costs of coal. Once the reason we can't have high-speed rail in this country, namely, is because the coal gondolas have warped the tracks so badly because they're so heavy that the trains can't run fast enough. That's one of the costs of coal that we don't see. We're paying it somewhere else. Last year I had a 6.5-week jury trial in West Virginia, which I won. The biggest judge in the history of the state. $500 million. And I've been fighting mountaintop removal in that state for 20 years. And when I was leaving the state, after I argued 2 weeks ago the Supreme Court appeal of that case, when I was leaving, I was on the highway, and I said, something feels like we're driving on a car machine. It was a federal highway.